Hello students, we will go for another applications of Nernst equation, and we did determine the determination of SCP of cell. Next is third application, to calculate pH of solution. To calculate pH of solution. To calculate pH of solution. How to calculate pH of solution? See. Suppose we have the same reaction, zinc solid converted to Zn2 plus aqueous. Their concentration is taken as 1 molar and there is H3O plus, twice of H3O plus converted to H2 gas over the surface of platinum. There is, what concentration is there? We don't know. We should find out. And then this is 1 atmospheric pressure. So how we can do? See. Let's say EMF of cell is there. This is E naught of cell minus 0.0591 by N log base 10 concentration of product by concentration of reactant. So product side is this as well as H2PT divided by H3O plus concentration power 2. Okay. So E naught of Zn2 plus 2, Zn is given minus 0.76 volt. This is given. Okay. E naught of cell is given. EMF of cell is also given. Okay. EMF of cell is also known value. It is given. So what we do? This is equals to E naught of cathode 0 minus E naught of anode minus of 0.76 volt minus 0.06 by N value is 2 log base 10 molar concentration is 1 molar into 1 atm divided by H3O plus concentration is unknown. H3O plus concentration is unknown. So this will become 0.76 volt minus 0.06 by 2 log of base 10 H3O plus molar concentration to the power minus 2. Okay. So this will become 0.76 volt minus 0.06 by 2 into minus 2 log of H3O plus molar concentration. So this 2 and 2 is cancelled. We will have 0.76 volt minus 0.06 and minus log of H3O plus is pH. Therefore, EMF of cell is equals to this much. Therefore, what is there? Minus of 0.06 into pH is equals to EMF of cell minus 0.76. Okay. Therefore, pH can be calculated as EMF of cell minus 0.76 divided by 0.06 minus. So, in this case, we have calculated pH. pH is equals to 0.76 minus EMF of cell divided by 0.06. With this equation, by knowing the value of EMF of cell, we can calculate the pH of solution. Okay. Similarly, in other example, let's say we have H2PT, H3O plus, what concentration? Don't know. Salt base, copper 2 plus, 1 molar converted to copper solid. So in this case, again, let's say E naught is given. E naught of copper 2 plus 2, copper is 0.34 volt. That is given. So again we can calculate EMF of cell is equals to E naught of cell, cathode minus anode. So cathode is 0.34 volt minus 0 minus 0.06 by 2 log base 10. Molar concentration of product by molar concentration of reactant. So product concentration is H3O plus power 2. This is 2H3O plus. Okay. Divided by molar concentration of copper 2 plus, that is 1 molar. 1 into 1. So this will be 0.34 minus 0.06 by 2 log base 10 molar concentration of H3O plus power 2. This is equals to 0.34 plus 0.06 by 2 into negative log of H3O plus molar concentration. This is equals to 0.34 plus 2 and 2 is cancelled, 0.06 into pH. Okay. Therefore, pH is equals to, what is that? EMF of cell minus 0.34 divided by 0.06. So with the help of this equation, we can calculate the pH of solution. So if unknown concentration of H3O plus is at the cathodic compartment, we will use this equation. If unknown concentration of H3O plus is there at anodic compartment, we will use this equation. So simply we can simplify in this case, that is pH of solution is equals to minus, that is, what is that? That is E naught of, okay, in this case, okay, E naught of Zn2 plus 2Zn minus EMF of cell divided by 0.06. This is a general expression. In this case, that is pH is equals to EMF of cell minus E naught of copper 2 plus 2 copper divided by 0.06. This is general equations to calculate EMF of cell. pH of cell. Understood? Okay. Now, next is to calculate equilibrium constant. Calculate equilibrium constant. How to calculate equilibrium constant? At equilibrium we know that del G equals to 0. EMF of cell equals to 0. So simply we can say EMF of cell is equals to E naught of cell minus 0.06 by N log base 10 concentration of product by concentration of reactant. Okay. So this is equals to, at equilibrium this is equals to 0. Therefore, at equilibrium we can say 0 is equals to E naught of cell minus 0.06 by N and log of base 10 K equilibrium. Therefore, E naught of cell is equals to 0.06 by n log base 10 K equilibrium. Okay, by using this relation, by knowing their E naught of cell, we can find out K equilibrium value by using NT log. This is the application number 4. Next is to calculate solubility product. To calculate solubility product. To calculate solubility product. Like for example, write down a question. The EMF of cell is given Ag solid converted to AgI, Ag solid converted to AgI, which is solid, present in Ki solution. AgI, which is solid, converted to present in Ki solution of 0.05 molar. So you can use this or you can use comma. This is 0.05 molar. Separated through salt bridge, and the salt bridge concentration is AgNO3 converted to Ag. This AgNO3 concentration is given 0.05 molar. This is given 0.05 molar. This is 0.5 molar. So to calculate solubility product, so question is the EMF of cell. This cell is 0.788 volt. Is 0.788 volt. Is 0.788 volt. Find the solubility product of AgI. Find the solubility product of AgI. Find the solubility product of AgI. Okay, see now. If it is given 0.5 molar or 0.05 molar, okay, any concentration you can take. So for convenience, we will take similar concentration 0.05. Okay, question is find out the KSP of AgI. Find out the KSP of AgI. And we know that KSP of AgI is molar concentration of Ag plus into molar concentration of I minus. So molar concentration of I minus is known, which is 0.05. Molar concentration of Ag plus in LHS is not known. Into molar concentration is 0.05. So we need to find out the molar concentration of Ag plus LHS first. Okay. How to do? See. So we have EMF of cell is equals to E naught of cell minus 0.06 divided by n. N value is 1 over here. Okay, log base 10. Molar concentration of Az plus, and molar concentration of Az plus in this LHS is unknown. LHS divided by molar concentration of Ag plus is unknown. Molar concentration of Ag plus of RHS, and RHS is known. So concentration of AgI divided by concentration of AgNO3. The concentration of AgNO3 is already given. Okay. So now do the question. So EMF of cell is 0.788 volt. 788 volt is equals to E naught of cell is 0, because this side silver electrode, that side silver electrode. So E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode is equals to 0, minus 0.06 into log of Ag plus LHS divided by, this is what, 0.05 at RHS. So by solving this equation, we'll get the value of Ag plus of LHS. Solving this equation, we'll get the value of Ag plus of LHS. So Ag plus of LHS is unknown, known now. Therefore, Ksp of Agi can be calculated simply by using Ag plus of LHS into 0.05. Into 0.05. Okay. Now, next is, this is sixth one. Next one is to calculate the EMF of concentration cell. Calculate the EMF of concentration cell. If you want to calculate the EMF of concentration cell, what is there? So concentration cell is what? Concentration cell is two electrodes. Two same electrodes are present in same electrolytic solutions. If two same electrodes are present in same electrolytic solutions, and then same electrolytic solutions, alright, then electric current is being generated because of concentration gradient of electrolytes or because of electrode pressures. So difference in electrode pressure or difference in concentration of the same electrode in same electrolytic solutions, if they will be able to generate electric current, then such type of cell is called as concentration cell. So write down concentration cell. If concentration cell, such type of cell in which such type of cell in which electric current is being generated, such type of cell in which electric current is being generated due to difference in concentration, due to either difference in concentration of electrolytes, or difference in electrode pressure. Difference in concentration of electrolytes or difference in electrode pressure. Then it is called as concentration cell. So in concentration cell is of two types. One is concentration cell where electrolytic concentrations are different. Electrolytic concentrations are different. So over here, electrodes are same. Electrolytes same. Same electrolyte, same electrode. But only one difference is there. Electrolytic concentration. Electrode pressures are same. But electrolytic concentrations are different. Another is, over here, electrode potentials are different. Electrode potentials are different. But there is same electrode, same electrolyte, same concentration of electrolyte. Only electrode pressures are different. Then such type of electrodes, this is another type of concentration cell, this is another type of concentration cell. Okay. Suppose there is, in this electrolytic concentrations, this can be metal ion concentration cell, or gas electrode concentration cell. That can be further of any type, no problem. So see now, suppose we have same concentration, metal we have taken Ms, converted to Mn plus. Okay, and their concentration is taken as C1 molar. Then separated through salt bridge, there is Mn plus with C2 concentration converted to M solid. So where M is same, okay, all these M is same. So same concentration, same electrolyte. Let's say over here we have taken Zn solid converted to Zn2 plus with 0.1 molar. No problem. Then Zn2 plus at 0.1 molar, 0.01 molar converted to Zn solid. So what is this? Same electrode. Okay, same electrode. Same electrolyte. Over here zinc sulfate. Over here zinc sulfate. So at both the places there is zinc sulfate only. Same electrode, same electrolyte. Okay. Same electrode pressure if it is there. But difference in their concentration, and because of this, if electric current is being generated because of concentration gradient of these two electrodes, then that particular cell is called as concentration cell. So, how to calculate EMF of concentration cell in this case? Okay, so let's say, for example, EMF of cell is equals to E naught of cell minus 0.06 by N log base 10, concentration of product. So product is this, that is 0.1 molar divided by concentration of reactant, and reactant is what? 0.01 molar. So E naught of cell is equals to 0 minus 0.06 by 2 log base 10, 10 to the power minus 1 by 10 to the power minus 2 is equals to 10 to the power 1 itself. Okay. So now this is equals to what? This is minus of 0.06 by 2 log base 10 is 1. So log 10 is 1. This is equals to this. Okay. So what does it mean? So EMF of cell is calculated like this. So reduction potential is minus of 0.03 volt. Now let's say if we take EMF of cell is E naught of cell minus 0.06 by n log base 10, and this will be C1. This will take C1. So this is C1 and this will be C2. This is equals to 0 because same electrode is there. So EMF of cell is equals to minus of 0.06 by n log of C1 by C2. So therefore this can be written as plus of 0.06 by n log of C2 by C1. If you write like this, so what will happen over there? See, this will become, that is EMF of cell will be positive if C2 is greater than C1. If C2 is greater than C1, then EMF of cell is positive. And once EMF of cell will be positive, delta G will be negative. Once delta G will be negative, process is feasible as well as spontaneous. So such process is feasible and spontaneous. So if C2 concentration is greater than C1 concentration, then only we can say the EMF of cell will be positive and del G will be negative for them. Once del G is negative, we can say the process is spontaneous as well as feasible. So then the electric current will be generated and it will flow. Electric current will flow from cathode to anode through external wire in this cell. If we take another one, that is electrode potentials difference, what will happen? See, I hope you understood this one. Next is, that is such type of concentration cell where electrode potentials are different. So electrode potentials are different. Electrode pressures are different. Okay, electrode pressures are different. See, let's say now we have H2 platinum at 1 atmospheric or P1 itself. P1 converted to H3O plus molar concentration, and let's say it is 1 molar. Let's say it is 1 molar. Separated through salt bridge, H3O plus at 1 molar converted to H2PT. Over here, the hydrogen gas which is being passed through anodic compartment is at P1 pressure, and which is evolved at cathodic compartment is at P2 pressure. So now in this case, what is happening? Gas ion gas type of concentration cell. In this case, the electrode pressures are different. If electrode pressures are different, what will happen? So now we will write EMF of cell is equals to E naught of cell minus 0.06 by n log base 10 concentration of product by concentration of reactant. So obviously this is at reactant side, this is at product side, this is at reactant side, this is at product side. So we can say product concentration is P2 and reactant is P1, remaining 1 and 1 molar, no use of that. So E naught of cell is equals to 0 because both are having same hydrogen platinum electrode. So this becomes minus 0.06 by n log of base 10 P2 by P1. So what we can say now? Therefore, EMF of cell is equals to 0.06 by n log base 10 P1 by P2. So EMF of cell in this case will be positive. That is, if P1 is greater than P2, then only what will happen? EMF of cell is positive, and if EMF of cell is positive, del G will be negative. If del G will be negative, process is spontaneous and feasible. So this type of cell arrangement is possible if P1 is greater than P2. Alright, that is at more pressure, hydrogen gas is passed through anodic compartment, and the hydrogen gas which is evolved from cathodic compartment will be at low pressure. This is about concentration cell. Okay, and this is all about the applications of Nernst equations, few applications of Nernst equations, and we can use many applications of Nernst equations based on the situations which we are demanding. So this is all about the applications of Nernst equations and problems on Nernst equations you do, and you should ask your queries in your group exam. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello students, again in last class we have discussed about Nernst equation, and now we will go for the types of batteries. Okay, types of batteries. Types of batteries or cell. Types of batteries or cell. There are two types of batteries we are using. One is called as primary cell batteries or cell. Primary cell. Other is secondary cell. First is primary cell and another is secondary cell. This primary cell is what write down such type of cell in which cell reaction is irreversible. Such type of cell in which cell reaction is irreversible. Such type of cell in which cell reaction is irreversible. Cell reaction is irreversible, and chemicals used up during supply of electrical energy cannot be regenerated back by passing electric current to them. Cannot be regenerated back by passing electric current. Okay. Therefore, after some times, battery becomes dead. After some times, battery becomes dead. Are called as primary cells or dry cell. This is also called as dry cell. Primary cell or dry cell. Generally, dry cells are used in torches, radio receivers, electronic calculators, hearing aids, etc. Like for example, Leclanche cell. Leclanche cell. In Leclanche cell, what is there? Leclanche cell. This is also called as dry cell. So in Leclanche cell, zinc is taken as, this is Zn2 plus, Zn2 plus in ammonium chloride solution. Separated through salt bridge, MnO2 converted to MnO, OH, basic oxides of manganese. So what is happening over there? Zinc is converted to Zn2 plus and ammonium chloride is there in the solution, which is converted to ammonium chloride, and then MnO2 converted to MnOOH. So zinc is getting oxidized and manganese is getting reduced in this Leclanche cell. Similarly, next is alkaline cell. Next is alkaline cell. Alkaline cell, where zinc is converted to zinc powder in alkaline solution. Where zinc is converted to, this is solid, converted to zinc 2 plus, which is in the form of powder. Alright, in alkaline solution KOH, MnO2 is being reduced at the graphite rod, carbon graphite rod, to MnOOH, basic oxides of manganese. Next is mercury battery. Mercury battery, where zinc mercury amalgam is used. Zinc mercury amalgam is used. In this case, zinc mercury amalgam is used, converted to zinc oxide in alkaline solution. Alright, in alkaline solution, then mercury oxide HgO converted to Hg on graphite, carbon graphite rod. That is zinc mercury amalgam, mercury cell. Next is nickel cadmium battery. Nickel cadmium battery. So in nickel cadmium battery, we are using nickel cadmium. Alright, this nickel cadmium battery we are using nickel and cadmium, where nickel is taken as nickel in the form of nickel oxide as a paste in alkaline paste, and cadmium is used, where cadmium is converted to cadmium oxide, nickel oxide is converted to nickel. So over here, if we use nickel cadmium battery, so there will be nickel converted to nickel 2 plus in alkaline solution KOH, taken as salt base, then cadmium oxide converted to cadmium. Alright, this is nickel cadmium battery. In this, what is happening over there, if battery is not in use, we need to see Leclanche cell only. In this Leclanche cell or tricell, what is there? There is zinc plate coating is there. The zinc plate coating, where zinc is converted to Zn2 plus 2 electron. Okay, this is reaction takes place at anode. Zinc coating which is taken itself acts as anode. There is carbon rod as cathode. Over here, MnO2 will accept electron in alkaline solution. It will become MnOOH. So what it forms? Manganese basic oxide. Zinc 2 plus, which is left out in the solution, is there in the ammonium chloride. So ammonium ion is also there. Ammonium ion NH4 plus electron will give ammonia plus hydrogen gas. So this ammonia, this is also at cathode. So zinc 2 plus ammonia will take, it forms ZnNH3 taken for 2 plus. So it forms a complex of tetramine zinc 2 plus ion, zinc 2 ion, and formation of this will degrade, will consume the react chemicals over there, and further it cannot be regenerated back as ammonia or ammonium chloride. Therefore, this cell is used only once, and once it is used, further their reactions, chemical reactions cannot be regenerated back even by passing electric current to them. That is called as primary or Leclanche cell. So basically used is primary Leclanche cell only. Next is secondary cell. In secondary cell we use lead storage battery. Lead storage battery. The secondary cell, fuel cell is secondary cell. If you see the lead storage battery, there is lead rod. Alright, lead rod acts as anode. Lead rod coated with lead oxide acts as cathode. There is anode and there is cathode. Cathode is made up of lead rod coated with lead oxide. Electrolytes over here we are taking as electrolytes sulfuric acid H2SO4 30% concentrated sulfuric acid. In this lead storage battery there are 6 chambers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 chambers in lead storage battery. Each chamber will produce around 1.98 volt. 6 chamber will produce multiplied by 6 approximately 12 volt battery. Okay. In this case, each chamber is having cathode and anode like that. So there is cathode, anode like this, anode, cathode. 6 plates are there. Like this. So there are 6 different chambers. Each chamber will produce 1.98 volt. When it is multiplied by 6, it will be around approximately 12 volt. Therefore, it is called as 12 volt battery. So what is happening? There are 2 types of reactions. This is what, when electric current is passed through them, whatever the reactions has been taken place at anode and cathode, that gets reversed back, and therefore this battery is rechargeable battery. So this is called as rechargeable battery. Rechargeable battery. So write down secondary cell. The chemicals can be brought back to their initial state by charging the exhausted cell. The chemicals can be brought back to their initial state by charging the exhausted cell with electric current from an external source. Therefore, secondary cells can be used again and again. In lead storage battery, anode is made up of spongy lead rod. Okay. Cathode is made up of lead rod coated with lead oxide. And electrolytes are around 30% concentrated sulfuric acid. Electrolytes are 30% concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay. There are 2 types of reactions. One is discharging reactions. Okay. So in discharging reaction, what will happen over there? See. So first of all, discharging reaction. So discharging reaction at anode, what will happen? PV solid converted to Pv2 plus 2 electrons. Then Pv2 plus will accept SO4 2 minus. becoming PbSO4, which is solid. PbSO4. So the net reaction is, okay, Pb2 plus cancelled. Pb solid plus SO4 2 minus gives rise to PbSO4 plus 2 electrons. So this reaction takes place at anode. Okay. At cathode, what will happen? See. At cathode, what will happen? So we have lead PbO2, because lead is coated with lead oxide. So lead oxide will be reduced. So PbO2 converted to Pb plus 4 plus 2O, 2 minus, then H plus O 2 minus will form H2. So 4H plus 2O 2 minus gives 2H2. We have Pb4 plus 2 electron becoming Pb2 plus. Then Pb2 plus will accept SO4 2 minus becoming PbSO4. So net reaction will be, see, Pb plus 4 is cancelled. This and this will be cancelled. Then electron and electron will be cancelled. Sorry, electron will not be cancelled. Pb2 plus and Pb2 plus will be cancelled. So we have PbO2 plus 4H plus SO4 2 minus gives rise to PbSO4 plus 2H2. This reaction takes place at cathode. Okay. Now, after that, after consuming, now we'll connect them through the external circuit. So there will be recharging reaction. There will be recharging reactions. So before that, see discharging reactions. Discharging reactions at anode, lead is converted to lead 2 plus, while lead 2 plus in presence of SO4 2 minus becoming PbSO4. Alright. In recharging reactions, what will happen? PbSO4 converted to Pb, and that is at cathode. At cathode, what happened? PbSO4 is converted to Pb, and at anode, what will happen? PbSO4 is converted to PbO2. This is the reaction. So reaction will be reversed. If you see the reaction, see. So write down charging reactions, recharging reaction first. Few things. In discharging process, PbSO4 which is formed at both the electrodes. In discharging reaction, PbSO4 which is formed at both the electrodes. Which is formed at both the electrodes will stop the cell reaction. Will stop the cell reaction. Hence, cell is recharged by passing electric current from an external source by passing EMF greater than 2 volt. By passing EMF greater than 2 volt, which will reverse the chemical reactions. Which will reverse the chemical reactions. Which will revert the chemical reactions. Okay. So how it will revert the chemical reactions? So at cathode, what will happen now? Okay. Whatever the reactions in there, this discharging reaction, anode will become now recharging cathode, and cathode will become now anode at the recharging process. So at cathode, there over here there is cathode, over there that was anode. So anode, what was there? PbSO4. Now this PbSO4 will accept 2 electrons, becoming lead solid plus SO4 2 minus. SO4 2 minus. And over here, what will happen at cathode? Cathode of at anode of this recharging is cathode of this discharging. So what is the reaction? What will the reaction takes place? PbSO4, earlier it was, plus 2H2O gives rise to now PbO2 plus 4H plus SO4 2 minus plus 2 electron. Over here 2 electron is there. So this gets oxidized and forms again PbO2 back. So reaction is reversed back. Therefore this reaction is called as, in this case at anode, Pb is converted to PbSO4. Cathode, PbO2 is converted to PbSO4. So when it is connected through an external circuit providing EMF greater than 2 volt, what will happen? This reaction gets reversed, this reaction gets reversed. So anode of this will become cathode of this, and cathode of this will become anode of this. So what will happen? That is reversible cell. This PbSO4 plus 2 electron gives rise to Pb plus SO4 2 minus. At anode, which was that cathode over here, PbSO4 plus 2H2O, PbO2, 4H plus, SO4 2 minus 2 electron. That is their recharging reaction. Okay, this is about lead storage battery. This lead storage battery is used to supply current for electrical vehicles, railway trains, mines, telephone exchange, etc. Okay. It is also used in laboratories, hospitals, automobiles. Okay. Where automobiles, where 6 plates are connected in series, providing 12 volt EMF. 6 plates are connected in series, providing 12 volt EMF. Now the next is fuel cell. Fuel cell. Fuel cell is what? So see, all this after some time, alright, the chemicals which are being used up slowly are getting precipitated. Therefore, the cell is not used to provide continuous electric current. Okay, their life is limited. But if we are using like rocket fuel or some astronaut purpose, we use another cell which will provide continuous electric current, and this fuel cell is not providing any harmful substance even after chemical cell reactions. So write down fuel cell. Fuel cell. Such type of galvanic cell in which fuels are used as an oxidant. Fuels are used as an oxidant. Fuels are used as an oxidant and provides continuous supply of electric current. Commonly used fuel cells are hydrogen-oxygen fuel cells. Hydrogen-oxygen fuel cells. It consists of anode, made up of graphite rod impregnated with finely divided platinum impregnated with finely divided platinum, impregnated with finely divided platinum, or palladium or silver or nickel. Palladium or silver or nickel. Cathode is made up of same electrode. Cathode is made up of same electrode. Cathode is made up of same electrode. Electrolytes are 25% KOH solution. Electrolytes are 25% KOH solution. Okay. In this cell, there are three compartments. In this cell, there are three compartments. Left side, hydrogen. Right side, oxygen is passed. Hydrogen gets oxidized to H3O plus. Oxygen gets reduced to OH minus. And this oxidation and reduction takes place at the middle compartment. Hydrogen and oxygen, alright, oxidation of hydrogen and the reduction of oxygen takes place in the middle compartment. At anode, the reaction is H2 gets oxidized in presence of OH minus, becoming H2O. H2 gets oxidized in presence of OH minus. Alright, so what happens? H2 gets oxidized, H plus and OH minus will become water. So it forms corresponding water. So H2 gives 2H plus or 2OH minus, so becoming water itself. So water, and releases electrons. Okay. So how it is? Like suppose there is 4OH minus, 4 electrons. 4OH minus, that is 4OH H2O and 2H2. So 2 to 4, 8, this is the reaction. At cathode, what will happen? Oxygen gas is reduced. O2 plus OH minus. O2 will accept electron. Oxygen gets reduced. So oxygen gets reduced in presence of H2O. So what it forms? It forms OH minus. It forms OH minus. So oxygen gets reduced at cathode, isn't it? At cathode. So if you take over here O2 plus 2H2O plus 4 electron becoming 4OH minus. So 4OH minus, 4 negative charge completed. This is at cathode. So what is happening over there in fuel cell? In fuel cell, we are taking three compartments. At left compartment there is oxidation, right compartment there is reduction. Oxidation of hydrogen takes place in alkaline solution, becoming H2O and 4 electron. Reduction of oxygen takes place in alkaline solution and becoming OH minus. So again this OH minus is regenerated back, can be reused over there. Byproduct is water itself that can be used for other purpose. And therefore, in this type of cell reactions, no harmful substance are being produced or removed. And hydrogen and oxygen is used. Therefore, it is called as hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell. So write down advantage of fuel cell. Advantage of fuel cell. First, fuel cell do not store chemical energy. Fuel cell do not store chemical energy. Okay, and they continues providing electric current till the supply of reactant continues. Till the supply of reactant continues. Next, the energy conversion from chemical to electrical is highly efficient. Okay. The energy conversion from chemical to electrical is highly efficient, around 75 to 82% efficiency of this cell. Next, it does not produces any harmful gases or substance. It does not produces any harmful gases or substance. Next, it does not produce noise or thermal pollution or vibration or heat transfer. Okay. Now this is advantage of fuel cell. Now limitations of fuel cell. Why we are not using even after this much advantage? Limitations of fuel cell. First, cost effectivity is not there because it is used. Fuels are used hydrogen and oxygen. Pure hydrogen is costly and difficult to store. Next, lifetime of fuel cell is not known. Lifetime of fuel cell is not known. Lifetime of fuel cell is not known. This is about fuel cell. And last is, that is electrochemical series. Last is, that is electrochemical series of this particular topic, galvanic cell. Electrochemical series. ECS. Electrochemical series. When different metals and non-metals are arranged in order of increasing reduction potential or decreasing oxidation potential, then a series of such substances are series of such substances are obtained, which is known as electrochemical series. So write down, when different substances, metals and non-metals or their ions are arranged in order of increasing reduction potential and decreasing oxidation potential, increasing reduction potential and decreasing oxidation potential, then a series is obtained which is known as electrochemical series. Again, this series is very, very important series, electrochemical series. How to remember this electrochemical series? See, लिख बाजार का नाम, मैजिक अलमंड जिंक, मैजिक अलमंड जिंक, critical iron, coded and cooperate with nickel, tin, lead, Koike silver, Mari Pitti gold, Lichase, lithium, potassium, barium, strontium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, manganese, zinc, chromium, iron, cadmium, cobalt, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, silver, mercury, platinum, gold. That is lithium, potassium, barium, strontium, calcium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, manganese, zinc, chromium, iron, cadmium, cobalt, nickel, then after tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, silver, mercury, platinum, gold. This is in order of increasing reduction potential and decreasing oxidation potential. Increasing reduction potential and decreasing oxidation potential. Okay. Increasing reduction potential and decreasing oxidation potential. So since we are reducing them, so reduction potential, of course we'll use their ions. So Au3 plus, Pt2 plus, Hg2 plus, Ag plus, Cu2 plus, Pb2 plus, Sn2 plus, nickel 2 plus, cobalt 3 plus, cadmium 2 plus, iron 2 plus, chromium 3 plus, zinc 2 plus, manganese 2 plus, aluminium 3 plus, magnesium 2 plus, Na plus, Ca2 plus, Sr2 plus, Ba2 plus, K plus, Lk. So this is in order of increasing reduction potential. SRP increases. Okay. SOP decreases. SOP decreases. Reactivity also decreases. So many applications of this electrochemical series are there in chemistry. So write down applications of electrochemical series. First, to explain reactivity of metals. To explain reactivity of metal. Greater the reduction potential of metal. To explain reactivity of metal. So reactivity of metal, okay, is inversely proportional to SRP value of metal ions. SRP of metal ions. Greater the value of SRP of metal ions, less will be their reactivity. Less the value of SRP of metal ions, higher will be their reactivity. Therefore, in the solution, lithium is more reactive than potassium, then barium, then strontium, then calcium, and so on and so on. So, to explain reactivity of metals. Second, to explain reactivity of non-metals. To explain reactivity of non-metals. So, reactivity of non-metal is proportional to the SRP value of non-metal ions. SRP value of non-metal ions. Therefore, at the last, there is F minus. So, what does it mean? F minus is having more reactivity than Cl minus, then Br minus, then I minus. F minus is having more reactivity than Cl minus, then Br minus, then I minus. Next, applications. To explain the evolution of hydrogen gas from water or dilute acids, metals which are more reactive than hydrogen metals which are more reactive than hydrogen placed above hydrogen in electrochemical series. Placed above hydrogen in electrochemical series can displace hydrogen from dilute acids and water. It displaces hydrogen from dilute acids and water. Okay. Therefore, all these metal ions can displace hydrogen from dilute acids and water. So calcium will react with water, evolve hydrogen gas, but copper will react with water, it will not evolve hydrogen gas. Next is to explain the displacement of metal ions from salt solution. To explain the displacement of metal ions from salt solution. To explain the displacement of metal ions from salt solution. Metal ions which are placed above can displace metal ions which are placed below. The metals which are placed above can displace metal ions which are placed below from their salt solution. So what does it mean? If a zinc reacts with copper sulfate, zinc can displace copper 2 plus ion from salt solution, becoming ZnSO4 plus copper, but reverse reaction is not possible. Similarly, when there is aluminium and it reacts with zinc sulfate, it will form aluminium sulfate, but reverse reaction is not possible and displaces zinc from their salt solution. Okay, next, to explain the cathodic and anodic compartment. To explain cathodic and anodic compartment. How it is? See, if higher the value of anode is there, anode must be there with higher value of SOP, and cathode must be of lower value of SOP, higher value of SRP. Cathode must be of higher SRP, anode must be of higher SOP. Okay. Suppose we want to couple zinc with copper. So zinc and copper is there. Zinc is having higher value of SOP and copper is having higher value of SRP. So zinc will be anodic compartment and copper will be there in cathodic compartment. We want to couple with aluminium with silver itself. We want to couple with copper and hydrogen. So hydrogen will be at anodic compartment, copper will be at cathodic compartment. Among copper and silver, copper will be there in anodic compartment and silver will be there in cathodic compartment. So that there will be oxidation of copper but reduction of silver ion takes place. Understood? And many more applications of electrochemical series in chemistry, like wherever in reasonings you will not get the facts, wherever in reasonings you are stuck in somewhere. So just remember electrochemical series, you will have some idea what to do and what not to do. So electrochemical series is very, very important regarding chemistry point of view. Okay, and this is all about the chapter electrochemistry. In the next class, we will do conduction inside the solution and Colroth's law. Thank you very much.